Everyone, I'm Jesse here with Ron LeGrand on another episode of Ask Ron. How you doing today?
Outstanding.
Good to hear it. We have a few students who's got some questions today for you.
I'm guessing that's why we're doing this Q&A session. Is that right, Jesse?
That's
Okay,
correct,
good.
Ron. First, we have Kenneth Cambridge from Connecticut.
I can.
How do you prevent a seller from working with another investor behind your back after the seller has a written contract with you?
Well, honestly, you cannot prevent it. You can only pursue it after you learn about it. There's really no way you can stop them from doing it, but you can certainly take action if they do, because your contract is a legal binding contract unless you screwed it up. So if you find out before that investor were to buy the property, you could literally stop the sale. You need to get an attorney to do that. If you find out after, you could sue both the seller and the investor for damages, and that would be between you and your attorney to decide what that would be. But you're the one with the contract. You have the legal binding contract, and the seller has a responsibility to honor it, and they're going to have to pay the price if they don't, as long as your contract is done correctly, so they can't find an easy loophole out of it. One of those loopholes would be if you tell them you've given them an earnest money deposit and you can't prove you have done that. On the back of my contract, they signed down the bottom that they've received it. See, that would be an easy out for them because the contract was never binding. So if you make sure that doesn't happen, then the rest is between you and your attorney, but you have your rights and you can enforce them.
Very good, thank you. Stefanie Thompson's next from
Stefanie.
Florida. Ron, who is the best real estate attorney to deal with subject to wrap mortgages deals in Jacksonville? I have a deal in place, but need the real estate attorney that is experienced.
Well, Stephanie, this is something you probably should ask me off camera, since it applies to no one but us in Jacksonville. To tell you the truth, I'm breaking in a new attorney. His name is John Miller, and he's out at the beach. But I have not broken him in yet, and I would certainly call him because he knows what I do, and he even has my documents. Now, fortunately for all of you listening, just yesterday, I did my first training for real estate closing attorneys, and a couple of them were in Florida, but not in Jacksonville. And we're developing a network of real estate closing attorneys that I train to conform with what we do, and then I'm certifying them so they are LeGrand certified closing attorneys. Now I'm going to post these 6 on my site. In fact, one of them happens to be in Connecticut, come to think about it, around the New Haven area. And you guys keep an eye on it, because as time goes, we should be able to grow this thing. But the first 6 I trained yesterday, and we'll be adding those. So that means I've spent a day training them, and they've been certified, so they should speak your language. And if they don't, I want to know.
Good, thank you. Travis Rains from Georgia.
Travis?
I'm waiting on my LLC in 15 days.
Wow, that's so long.
Can I work with a VA to get my first deal without it, so I can pay for quick start and all that I need?
Of course. You don't have to have an LLC to do a deal. You can take title in a land trust, and then you be the beneficiary. So that LLC has nothing to do with you doing a deal.
Good deal. And last but not least, Brian Lucy from Colorado.
Brian?
Is there a questionnaire that I can use when we're looking for an attorney?
Well, I've actually answered that question several times on here, but I can tell you what to ask. First, ask them, are you a real estate closing attorney? Now, you can ask the receptionist this, and then you ask, if they say yes, then you ask, well, listen, I am buying properties, and I buy them with owner financing. Sometimes I buy them with subject to, and sometimes I actually lease purchase them, and I usually install lease option tenant buyers in them. Is any of that a problem for your firm? And if it isn't, you probably found your attorney. If it is, just keep moving, because you're not going to change their attitude or convince them of anything. And if they are truly real estate closing attorneys, you'll get all positive answers. Okay?
All right. That's all we got for you today.
That's all we got?
That's
okay, all right. Well, that was easy. You guys made it easy on me. Of course, we're kind of doing this a little earlier in the week, but either way, I'll see you next week. So keep them coming. Keep the letters coming. We get those on a regular basis, and we post them when we get them somewhere. So see you next week. You're running out of month. Out of year. You better hurry up.